This is the Troll Patrol. Live. With Justin. Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol. Live. It's a freaking Tuesday. Diddle-loop. Diddle-loop. Jerking off with Freakin. Okay. If I end up doing a Pornhub, OnlyFans, Chatterbait, I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'm tossing around the idea of it. If I end up doing a show like that, jerking off with Freakin is exactly what we're gonna call it. Though freaking off with Freakin would also be apropos. I don't know, I'm thinking about like making a $50 tier on Patreon and like I'll give you everything I give everybody else, but like I'll also show you my dick if you want. That kind of deal. If you're into that, I'm not expecting anybody to be into that. But if you are, I'll do it. I ain't shy. This person is following me on Twitter. Their handle is Dems are fascist. So they're following me, but they've only got like 8 other people they're following. So I was looking at who they were following. Jackson Hinkle, Abby Martin, Gods Unchained, seems to be a trading card game, has something to do with NFTs. Of course it does. Elon Musk, Kurt Metzger, Jimmy Dore, and GameSpot. So this account, Dems are fascist, is following me, Jackson Hinkle, Sarah Abdallah, I've never heard of her, Abby Martin, some NFT trading card game, Elon Musk, Jimmy Dore, Kurt Metzger, and GameSpot. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not in good company. Is it legal to put my dick on Patreon? Yes. That is legal. You can put your dick on Patreon. Oh God. The housemaid is really excited about the fact that I have a setup for gaming, for game streams now. If she can still hear me right now, she's like grinding her teeth about it. Apparently I'm loud or some shit. What are we talking about tonight on the show? We're gonna have to talk about Russia. Apparently there's something weird going on. Warlord, do you have an update on the speech? Did I catch the premiere of what last night? Ray? What did I catch the premiere of last night? It is 1 a.m. Eastern time, maybe. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Putin keeps delaying a speech. Apparently it was supposed to happen, at 8 o'clock last night, Russian time? But now it might happen 1 a.m. our time, possibly, maybe. Here's your meme of the day. Oh my God, moonshine. Let's buy it to look cool. Oh, Quantum Leap, Ray, I forgot. I fucking forgot about it. I'm going to download that tonight, watch it. Completely forgot about it. And you even told me. This meme hits close to home for me as a Appalachian. Ain't shine if you're paying taxes. Not to say that the stuff that you get from the store isn't good. There's some good shines out there. But technically, it ain't shine if you're paying taxes. Apparently the new Quantum Leap debut, was it on the main CBS or was it just like their streaming service? CBS Unlimited or CBS Plus or I don't know, that might be rolled up into Discovery now or something. I don't even fucking know. And apparently NBC is going to buy Discovery, HBO, Warner fucking shit. Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't matter to me if it was on the main channel or not. I'm acquiring it by the same means no matter where it's airing. Unless it's one of the streaming services I am signed up for. There are a couple. I think I am signed up for NBC right now. Goddamn WWE. I just keep forgetting to turn it off. I played some WWE when I was gaming earlier. I'm gonna have to pack another bong. I ain't high enough for this shit. Let me pack a bong here. We'll run down what we're talking about. First of all, let me go ahead and say that earlier I was sitting here doing some work. I had Majority Report on in the background, and they started to play the clip of because it was a news day, so I was all down with some news day. Dave Weigel was on. I always appreciate his reporting, but after that, see, it was on behind me. You can see the TV behind me. I'm sitting here doing my work over here on my station. The TV's behind me. And they started playing this clip. I assume it's the same clip that I have. I'm not sure if it is or not. But it was Jackson Hinkle on Newsmax or OAN explaining MAGA communism. I've heard about this. And you know what? I say that I'm fair. I try to be impartial and unbiased. So I turned off Majority Report, started playing the clip. I was like, no, I don't want to hear it yet. And I don't want to hear their mockery of it because I'm sure the Majority Report mocked it. I'm going to go in with an open mind and an open heart. I'm going to see if Jackson Hinkle can maybe convince me to join the MAGA communism movement. So we're going to play this clip. About 6 minutes long. We're going to see exactly what Jackson Hinkle's MAGA communism is all about. And I'll come to the conclusion if I want to join the movement or not. Maybe Almanara Report and Non-Smoker and all those guys over there, maybe they were correct all along, and I just didn't hear it from the right person. So I promise you, open mind, open heart, open ears. I'm going to let Jackson Hinkle have an opportunity to win me over. I'm going to mock, to chide or deride. Open ears, open heart, open mind. We're going to talk about Russia wanting to annex parts of Ukraine. Apparently, the international community is saying that ain't legal. They're apparently holding a vote anyway. I wonder if this Putin delayed speech has something to do with this annexation announcement. We're gonna get the lowdown on all that. Plus, as I mentioned last week, the special master that was appointed in the Trump case is apparently a man of impeccable character. It was the only one on Trump's list that the DOJ did not object to. Everybody says he is no nonsense and will call it by the letter of the law. And thus far, it looks like he has. Looks like he is telling Trump's lawyers to stop with the whole declassified thing unless they got some evidence to prove they actually declassified the documents. Or that Trump actually declassified the documents. We're going to hear from Representative Clyde, who says that if the GOP wins the House in the fall, they're going to go after the FBI. Also, Dog the Bounty Hunter is upset. He's out giving a campaign speech about how the Republicans need to win in the fall. So, if Dog is out there being upset about something, we need to listen to the dog. Civil rights attorneys have filed suit against Governors Abbott, Ducey, and DeSantis for their stunt sending migrants to Martha's Vineyard over the weekend or at the end of the week. The DA in Las Vegas is seeking to remove an accused murderer from office. Judge has ruled that Americans under felony indictment have a right to bear arms. Interesting. Plus, we're going to hear from Bill Maher about the woke mob and Ron Johnson, who hopefully will only be a senator for a few more months. Talking about how the media does nothing but cover up for Democrats. All that and more. Here on the Troll Patrol. Live. Fuck Dog the Bounty Hunter. Trelio, welcome. Cicero, good evening. Love your face. Ida, how are you tonight? Oh, Ray, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I don't have to see a replay. I'll watch it tonight if I can remember. If I have time to watch it, maybe I'll get around to it. I will watch it. Don't worry. All right, let's do the news. We are starting off tonight talking about Vladimir Putin over in Russia. Putin delays a surprise speech, which I don't think is much of a surprise anymore. I don't think it's much of a surprise since we know it's coming now. Putin delays surprise speech. Ukraine's allies say they will not accept referendums in Russian-held areas. Russian-backed officials in several parts of Ukraine have announced plans to hold a referenda on joining Russia. Ukraine has slammed the upcoming votes as a fake attempt to legitimize Russia's invasion and slammed the prospect of sham ballots. Russian President Vladimir Putin has called on Russian producers of military equipment to up their production and supplies to Russian troops. Putin was also set to give a major speech to the country on Tuesday, only to later postpone it until Wednesday without an explanation. And here, let's get some speculation on exactly what the delay might have been on this speech and what the speech might be about.
We've learned that as soon as this
is from Bloomberg.
Elections in 4 territories, most notably Luhansk and Donetsk, he will then absorb these territories into Russia. What is NATO's reaction?
So such sham votes, referendums, do not have any legitimacy, and therefore they don't change the nature of the conflict.
For those listening to the podcast, this is Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary General.
Remains a war of aggression by Russia against the independent sovereign nation in Europe, Ukraine, and this will only further worsen the situation, and therefore we need to provide more support to Ukraine.
So is he using this to get support at home, to say I've had a success after what we saw with this counteroffensive in Kharkiv from the Ukrainian side?
As I will not speculate, but what is clear is that President Putin has not changed his ambition when it comes to Ukraine, to take control of Ukraine. And we have to remember that he has stated clearly that this is not only about Ukraine, but also about changing the European security order. That was a clear message before he invaded Ukraine. So this is about Ukraine's security, but also about our security. And therefore, these kind of referendums are just another way of making the situation on the ground even worse.
But if he takes this land, calls it Russia, that is legal territory to the Kremlin. That's how they would view it, which means potentially him putting more soldiers there, conscription soldiers, using nuclear weapons, using chemical weapons. How concerned are you if that's the path he's willing to take?
But by holding these kind of votes, that doesn't change the international recognized borders of Ukraine. Such votes do not have any legitimacy, and that's the reason why the nature of the conflicts will remain exactly the same. Any use of weapons of mass destruction, nuclear weapons, would totally change the nature of the war. Russia knows that.
What would be the response?
We have made absolutely clear that a nuclear war should never be fought and cannot be won, and Russia knows that, and they know that we are ready to protect and defend every NATO ally.
Do you get a sense when you talk to NATO allies that building on this momentum, they will send more weapons, even the ones that they were reluctant at first to send to Ukraine?
Well, I don't like that, and already Republicans look poised to vote for another bill that will send money to Ukraine. So there's going to be like no way progressives can stop this, unfortunately.
Providing unprecedented support to Ukraine.
It was another like 2.5 billion.
more advanced weapons, and the combination of the support NATO allies and partners provide to Ukraine with the courage, the skill, the determination of the Ukrainian armed forces has actually enabled them to stop the Russian invasion, to drive them out of northern Ukraine, and now also regain or liberate territory in east and south.
But we are already seeing impacts of the policies towards this war on societies and economies across Europe, across the world really, Latin America, food security, Europe, energy. How sustainable is this? For how long are NATO allies prepared to send weapons and to continue the ammunition?
We have to support Ukraine as long as it takes, because the alternative is much more dangerous for all of us. We have to understand that this goes beyond Ukraine. Of course, we provide support to them because we have a moral obligation to support a sovereign independent nation upholding the right for self-defense. But if Putin wins in Ukraine, the lesson learned from for him, but also for other authoritarian leaders, is that they can use military power and then achieve their political goals. That makes us more vulnerable. It will make the world even more dangerous. So therefore, it is in our interest to help Ukraine prevail.
But how nervous are you about maintaining this unity, which you've been able to maintain with your NATO allies over the course of 7 months? You wrote this opinion piece in the Financial Times, and you're concerned about even civil unrest across Europe.
So I'm concerned about the fact that, of course, Ukrainians are paying a high price, but also Europeans are paying a high price, and people all over the world are paying a price. We see a surge in energy prices, in food prices, as a direct result of the reckless war by...
I was going to say refugee crisis first.
But at the same time, I'm confident that NATO allies and partners understand that the only way of responding to this war of aggression is to support Ukraine and not allow President Putin to win.
And how do you maintain that unity? For 8 years, there's been fighting in eastern Ukraine. This could go on for years.
We maintain that unity by explaining that this is about our security interests. We cannot allow that kind of behavior to be rewarded. That will make us all more vulnerable. So this is about our security, and of course we pay a price that is measured in money.
Did I miss anything? I was upset that the first thing that came to his mind was the economy, which is true, which could cause civil unrest. But like the refugee crisis, I mentioned it earlier on the gaming stream that I did when I was talking about it with Warlord. Like there's an issue between like the Hindi and the Muslim populations in London right now over a fucking cricket game. And just the influx of refugees that Europe is likely to see following this. Not just from Ukraine, but from all over the world, fucking from Pakistan, which is the third underwater still. It's just going to exacerbate a lot of these problems. And I got another cat one now, so god damn it. I can't do a news show and do like commentary when I'm taking care of you guys too. I didn't even hear what the dude said from NATO. Cats? I'm not high enough for this shit. Move on to the special master in the Trump case.
Well, now to the ongoing legal battle over those top secret documents seized.
Wait a minute, this isn't Maria Bartiromo. She's on Fox. No. I forget what this woman's name is. I think it's Maria something, though, isn't it?
Legal battle over those top secret documents seized by the FBI last month from former President Donald Trump's Florida home, Mar-a-Lago. Today, the special master appointed to the case held his first hearing with lawyers from both sides at the federal courthouse in Brooklyn, New York. CBS's Scott McFarlane has been following the case. And good evening, Scott. There's some
fair enough, RB. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's been a month and a half since the FBI seized these records. Some marked secret.
Nora O'Donnell. I'm sorry.
A few weeks ago, at Trump's request, Florida federal judge Eileen Cannon ordered the investigation of the records to pause until an independent party known as a special master went through the records first to see if the FBI should be prevented from seeing any of those documents. Today, that special master began his work. Judge Raymond Dearie of New York, specifically chosen by the Trump team, he immediately pushed back on Trump's claim he had declassified the sensitive documents in the raid, Nora.
And Scott, that's not the only thing that stood out today, right?
Yeah, during the proceedings today, a couple things stood out. First of all, the Trump team has yet to offer any proof that the declassification happened because they said it would complicate any legal defense they'd muster if there's a criminal indictment. What's more, Dearie, the special master, said in court today he's pushing back on that a bit, saying the Trump team seems to be trying to, quote, have their cake.
Fox, good evening.
He also said he's going to try to move quickly. He has a November 30th deadline to finish his work. The FBI wants those documents back sooner. They say this wait compromises the probe. And Nora, there are still secrets that might be exposed.
Fascinating. Scott MacFarlane, thank you.
Didn't really go into as much detail as I thought they would, but I mean, good overview of everything.
Fabrics and
You stop with your ad. We don't do ads around here. Oh, except for my ads, the ads that Twitch plays. You guys get those now. Republican Representative Andrew Clyde. He has previously compared the January 6th insurrection to a normal tourist visit. He's that guy. He now has implied that the Republicans will go after the FBI should they retake the House.
What county do you live in?
I live in this county.
Oh, is this that young lady reporter that's fucking amazing that she's constantly getting right-wingers to expose their shit? Reverse thread, good evening.
I am, yeah. I honestly haven't really been involved in politics at all until this last election when it got stolen from President Trump. So, I just figured I gotta get engaged to make sure that never happens again.
You're exactly right.
And so, I hope that you're fighting to free these political prisoners.
Yes, we are.
From January 6th.
Yep. Yes, we are. As a matter of fact, you'll see when we go back, we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the city of Washington.
It's a hidden mic, Warlord. This is hidden audio.
My committee, the Oversight Committee, and with our ranking member, Jamie Comer, all right? And I'm hoping Marjorie's going to come with us. So,
are you going to be able to get pardons for them? Because, this is political persecution.
Oh, absolutely. Only the president can give pardons, and this one ain't going to do it, all right? But we're going to do everything we can to get them out. So, we are. But we're the legislature.
It's just everything that's going on,
I know. I absolutely
the witch hunts
agree
at the
with
FBI.
You.
I think we got to defund the FBI. I hate to say it, but
Oh, you wait till we take the House back. You watch what happened to the FBI. All right. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all your work.
There you have it. A sitting representative saying they're going to go after the FBI should they take the House back. Simply because they're investigating, Trump. Dog is also upset about what's going on in the country leading up to the midterms. And if Dog the Bounty Hunter is upset, something's amiss. We got to find out what Dog is upset about. Make sure we aren't on Dog's bad side now, guys. Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog the Bounty Hunter. Mediaite always does some fucking weird shit here. Once it stops, we should be able to play it, I think. We go to a different browser. It always does weird ass shit. I've heard other people complain about this website, so. Hold on, dog. We're going to get to you. I never watched Dog the Bounty Hunter. I've only seen interviews with him. Oh, shit. No truck month for you. I think the ad blogger blocked out the video, but couldn't do anything about the audio or some shit. There's a dude trolling me on Twitter. Is that who you're referring to, Mox? Or you referred to actual Hacksaw? 'Cause there's a dude trolling me on Twitter. Adblock veto dog. No, we get dog. We get dog. We just didn't get the ad beforehand.
Wait till November when the Republican Party, I think I met one Christian Democrat, have you? When the Republican Party wipes.
What in the fuck kind of, first of all, I didn't know dog was like this dogmatic about religion or fucking politics. But I guess I should have known. Look at him, it makes perfect sense.
November, when the Republican Party, I think I met one Christian Democrat, have you? When the Republican Party wipes them out. Wait till November. Wait till November. I don't care how many ballot boxes there are. I don't care how they try to cheat. Wait till you see what happens. I told you this morning, little Hitler, and if you'll remember, Hitler committed suicide.
What?
Hitler, you know why? Because he was caught. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to catch these cheaters. And I'm not saying with my mouth or my tongue that he's going to commit suicide, but you never know. Wait.
What? That was insane. Guys, that was insane. Everything about that was insane. Ooh. Was he referring to Biden?
Come on, man.
Or could he be? Yeah, could he be referring to 45? What? Civil rights attorneys representing the migrants that were lied to by Governor DeSantis, as well as Abbott and Ducey. Apparently, they weren't included in the lawsuit. The civil rights group has just filed its first lawsuit, and it is against DeSantis over the illegal migrant flights. The lawsuit, filed by the Boston-based Lawyers for Civil Rights, alleges that DeSantis and state transportation officials violated the migrants' constitutional rights. A civil rights law firm filed a federal class action lawsuit against Florida GOP Governor Ron DeSantis on Tuesday, accusing him of orchestrating a premeditated, fraudulent, and illegal scheme to fly dozens of migrants from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard. The lawsuit, filed by the Boston-based Lawyers for Civil Rights, alleges that DeSantis and state transportation officials violated the migrants' constitutional rights by coercing mostly Venezuelan asylum seekers onto planes in Texas to the island through false promises and misrepresentations. It also accuses DeSantis of inappropriately using federal coronavirus relief funds to pay for the flights. Now, the sheriff actually announced that he had his own investigation I did not have it handy. I just remembered it as I was reading that story. Sheriff Javier Salazar. Oh, motherfuckers. Sheriff Javier Salazar is the Bexar County Sheriff, and here was his press conference. I believe it was earlier today.
Sheriff's Office. We wanted to call this conference to answer, I guess, just a bunch of questions we've been getting throughout the day in piecemeal fashion. We're just go ahead and clear the air for everyone. We are opening up a case with an investigation with regard to the suspected activities involving the 48 migrants from Venezuela that, as we understand
it's Bexar County? Thank you, Cicero.
At this point, are that on Wednesday, September 14th, here in Bexar County in the city of San Antonio, our understanding is that a Venezuelan migrant was paid what we would call a bird dog fee to recruit approximately 50 migrants from the area around a migrant resource center on San Pedro here in San Antonio. As we understand it, 48 migrants were lured, I will use the word lured, under false pretenses into staying at a hotel for a couple of days. They were taken by airplane. At a certain point, they were shuttled to an airplane where they were flown to Florida and then eventually flown to Martha's Vineyard, again, under false pretenses is the information that we have, that they were promised work, they were promised the solution to several of their problems. They were taken to Martha's Vineyard from what we can gather for little more than a photo op, video op.
A publicity stunt.
And then they were unceremoniously stranded in Martha's Vineyard. What infuriates me the most about this case.
And if you didn't get to hear the immigration attorney talk about it the other day, they purposely fucked up their paperwork. Many of them had court dates to appear yesterday in complete other parts of the country after they were shipped to Boston on Thursday.
Is that here we have 48 people that are already on hard times, right? They are here legally in our country at that point. They have every right to be where they are. And I believe that they were preyed upon. Somebody came from out of state, preyed upon these people, lured them with promises of...
I think Abbott was in on it.
They were absolutely looking for, with the knowledge that they were going to cling to whatever hope they could be offered for a better life, to just be exploited and hoodwinked into making this trip to Florida and then onward to Martha's Vineyard for what I believe to be nothing more than political posturing to make a point. Well, look, we all know that during a political campaign, things can get nasty, things can get out of hand, but when you're playing with human lives of people that are already in a desperate situation, people that again, had every right to be where they were, but were lured under false pretenses, that does tend to bother me quite a bit. And so we are absolutely opening up an investigation into this. Since this past weekend, I've been talking to at least one non-governmental organization involved in the case, LULAC National. Also been talking to at least one attorney involved with representing these folks that are still up on the East Coast, as well as several members of the media, local and national. And all indications are that at this point we are going to be opening an investigation. It is way too early for me to start.
I thought you said you opened an investigation.
Suspects. We do have the names of some suspects involved that we believe are persons of interest in this case at this point, but I won't be parting with those names. I think to be fair, I think everybody on this call knows who those names are already, so I won't be naming any of them. But
do they have governor out from their names? Is that their appellative? Oh my God, Sticks! Thank you for being a freaking follower. I love your face. I said it with such enthusiasm too. Let's move over to Las Vegas. Do you remember the story of the journalist that was murdered? Oh, that's... I forgot to say what I was going to say. ACAB means that sheriff too, but in that instance, he was doing and saying the right thing. A DA is seeking to remove Clark County official that has been charged in a journalist murder from office. Dude's been charged with murder, still in office. The Clark County District Attorney's Office is seeking to remove Robert Tellis from office amid allegations that the public officially This is misread. It has to be a typo. That the public officially that the public official brutally murdered Las Vegas Review-Journal investigative journalist Jeff German earlier this month. In a Tuesday complaint filed in Clark County, the district attorney's office alleged that since Attelis has been arrested in connection with the September 2nd murder, he has neglected to perform his duties as Clark County public administrator. Now, he was being investigated by that journalist for corruption. Yes, Americans are not removed from office when they murder someone. Also, being under a felony indictment is not a reason to not have a gun. He still has a right to a gun. Americans under felony indictment have a right to buy guns, a judge ruled earlier today. A federal law prohibiting people under felony indictment from buying firearms is unconstitutional, a federal judge in Texas has concluded, citing a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that significantly expanded gun rights. U.S. District Judge David... I can't get over me. U.S. District Judge David Counts, an appointee of Republican former President Donald Trump, reached that conclusion on Monday in dismissing a federal indictment against Jose Gomez Quiroz, who had been charged under the decades-old ban. Counts cited the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in June, declaring for the first time that the right to keep and bear arms under the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment protects a person's right to carry a handgun in public for self-defense. I haven't checked, but I'm assuming there was a mass shooting today. School's back in session. We haven't had a school shooting just yet. A potential mass shooting at a Texas homecoming football game was thwarted. But then again, I'm also a little leery of these stories because sometimes they didn't actually thwart a mass shooting and they're just jacking themselves off. A sheriff identifies men accused of plotting shooting at... Yeah, this is the same one, a homecoming game in Texas. Two people were shot in Wisconsin 2 days ago. Hold on. Let me limit it to today. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stories for the school shooter. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. Also, trial set for the synagogue shooter. There's a shooting at the Tri-State Fair and Rodeo in Texas. There's a lot of these shootings are happening in Texas. Researchers suggest mass killers incentivized by media. I could totally see that, but also I don't exactly know how we deal with that. I don't know how we grapple with that issue. So maybe, just maybe, there wasn't a mass shooting today. You know, homecomings usually happen in the fall, don't they? Yeah, the first game on the home field. That makes sense. And just in case any of you guys were like thinking of shooting up a school, remember kids, shoot up drugs, not schools. Centering the victims would be better for coverage, and I think the U.S. media has gotten a lot better about that in recent years. Still not perfect by no means. Senator Ron Johnson has a critique of the media, though. You want to hear it? Hopefully, Senator Ron Johnson is only a senator for a few more months. He went on Fox News to say this.
Good morning, guys. Well, in a sane world with an unbiased media, none of these races would even be close. Joe Biden wouldn't be president, and the disaster that is Democrat governance, the disastrous results from Democrat policies would, basically make sure the Democrats would not be in power right now. I mean, we're seeing what fundamental transformation of this nation looks like. They're fundamentally destroying it. It's open borders, a flood of deadly drugs, it's 40-year high inflation, record gas prices, rising crime. But what happens is the mainstream media covers up for these radical left policies. They cover up these disasters. I mean, it's surreal to listen to that early report that anybody would even begin to take seriously something that says the border is secure. Of course it isn't. 3 million people either been encountered and dispersed, 3 million, or they've entered illegally as a known or unknown getaway. 3 million people. That's a number larger than the population of 17 states. And they're arguing over 50 people delivered to Martha's Vineyard, a sanctuary city. So again, the reason we're having these absurd debates is because the media is not honest, they're complicit, they're corrupt, they're covering up for these radical leftists like...
He goes on to Fox News to say that the media is not honest. Fair enough. Have some self-awareness. Learn to feel embarrassment.
My opponent, who says the founding of America is awful, implies that our national parks are racist, is for defunding the police.
I'm pretty sure that Mandela Barnes, the candidate for Senate in Wisconsin, who is running against Senator Ron Johnson, did not say that the founding of the country was awful. I'm sure that you are taking something he said completely out of context.
For these radical leftists like my opponent, who says the founding of America is awful, implies that our national parks are racist, is for defunding the police and abolishing ICE. But again, he's in hiding. The mainstream media is not asking him.
And you make him sound awesome.
Want to let Wisconsinites know the truth of who this radical leftist really is. But that's across the board in all these senators.
Yeah, they've canceled that woke moralist.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Speaking of woke mob, let's hear from Bill Maher. Let's hear from somebody who's supposedly nominally on the left. He's not. But right-wingers love to use him. Use him like Megyn Kelly does here. Bill Maher nails it. Such a great piece on the pathetic woke mob. And I'm sure everybody down through here is like, oh, he's a leftist and even he's saying it. Blah, 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 blah. He's not a leftist.
You can get creative with a novel, a TV show, or a movie, but history books, that's not supposed to be fan fiction. How we teach our kids history has become a big controversy these days, with liberals accusing conservatives of wanting to whitewash the past, and sometimes that's true. Sometimes they do. But plenty of liberals
sometimes
abuse history to control the present. And last month, a scholar named James Sweet.
Okay, so the one example they're going to be able to throw at you is To Kill a Mockingbird. And like, I think I have no problem with that book being read in like required reading, because usually it is required reading in high school. That's one thing. I read that book when I was in like 4th grade. And when you've got a bunch of children sitting around, a lot of times, like, you take turns reading, there's a lot of N-bombs in that book. And it's awkward to have children reading that book. That's different than like a high school class analyzing things. So that's the one example that they always throw out. But once again, like, I read it in 4th grade, and 4th grade is probably like way too young. It might have been 5th grade. Is there incest in the book? Goddamn. Goddamn. Content warning indeed.
Caught hell for calling them out for doing just that. He criticized the phenomenon known as presentism, which means judging everyone in the past by the standards of the present. It's the belief that people 100 or 500 or 1,000 years ago really should have known better. Which is so stupid. It's like getting mad at yourself for not knowing what you know now when you were 10. Stupid me, spending all that time raising sea monkeys and playing with slot cards and jerking off to a Playboy in the barn. Who doesn't have moments from your past that make you cringe? Who hasn't said, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I wore that. I can't believe I thought that. I can't believe I did that. You ate dirt. You wanted to be a Ghostbuster. You shoplifted gum. You tried.
To be fair, I did like rip the page out of some magazines that had some video game codes on them one time. I never shoplifted gum because I don't like gum, but I ripped the page out of some magazines with some video game codes.
To be a white breakdancer, you.
Oh.
You wanted to marry Scott Baio. I read Ayn Rand.
Why?
I smoked.
I could tell you not to do that.
I was into numerology. Yes, because we hadn't then grown into the persons we would become. And humanity writ large is just the collective version of that. Did Columbus commit atrocities? Of course. But people back then were generally atrocious.
He was known to, like, contemporarily, they thought that Columbus was atrocious. You're not making a good argument. I'm trying to remember the name of the abolitionist. I read his fucking diary. It's from like 1490. It's from like long before we were a country. And he was talking about the evils of slavery and shit. Like, seriously, Bill Maher.
Everybody who could afford one had a slave, including people of color. The way people talk about slavery these days, you'd think it was a uniquely American thing that we invented in 1619. But slavery throughout history has been the rule, not the exception. The Sumerians, the Egyptians, the Greeks, Romans, the Arabs, British, the early Americans, all the way up through R. Kelly.
See, that minimizes the fact that, like, slavery is more prevalent now than what it was fucking 300 years ago.
The word slave comes from Slav, because so many Slavic people were enslaved.
Yanomami Man. Did I say that correctly? I love your face.
Who do you think gathered the slaves from the interior of Africa to sell to slave traders? Africans, who also kept their own slaves. We're a species prone to making others of our species our bitch. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Humans are not good people.
This is a horrible argument. So just because they weren't good people, that means there's no reason to glorify them.
Even though it doesn't jibe with the current narrative. But in today's world, when truth conflicts with narrative, it's the truth that has to apologize. Being woke is like a magic moral time machine where you judge everybody against what you imagine you would have done in 1066, and you always win. Presentism. Yeah, this...
I hate the idea of presentism. That sounds incredibly stupid. Not only that I can present examples where contemporaries called them out on being horrible people, but, like, you're not making an argument. Like, when we examine history, aren't we doing it with a critical lens so we don't repeat the past? Why are you wanting to glorify these things? This whole argument doesn't make any sense.
Professor is right. It's just a way to congratulate yourself about being better than George Washington because you have a gay friend and he didn't. But
oh, I think Washington had a gay friend. I'd say he had a few.
But if he was alive today, he would too. And if you weren't alive, if you were alive then, you wouldn't. Portland Public Schools has a plan
Does
now.
Bill think? Whoa! Does Bill think gay people didn't exist in the late 1700s? Oh, you know he had. Who do you think's making his powdered fucking wigs? What? This is crazy to me.
Gender, being mainly binary, was brought here by white colonizers. The curriculum guide says, when the United States was colonized by white settlers, their views around gender were forced upon the people already living here. Not even Star Trek would try that story.
That's true, Bill. That's true. They were accepting of, you know, the third gender or having both souls or whatever fucking bullshit.
Where they discover a planet.
Turbo Jerko, welcome.
It's like they finally discovered a unified theory of wokeness, incorporating all their ideas.
Oh, this is good. Turbo Jerko. I'm allowing my woke liberal virtue signaling fascist brain to block out comedy.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
You want to talk about it? I take phone calls. My Discord is open. 917-830-4359. If you're gonna hop in the Discord, just tell me. I have to make a little something happen to hop in there with you. I'm not sure you know what those terms mean. You're left of me? And you think I'm a fascist? That's interesting. I mean, I'm open to hearing about it. This is a copy pasta. We're watching Bill Maher. Why'd you bring comedy? Even back when I was a Bill Maher fan, I had noticed that, man, he keeps doing the same bits over and over again. Every, 2 or 3 years he does a special. Every 2 or 3 years it's the same jokes. He just switches out the politicians. You unbanned me. You unbanned me from what? Who the fuck are you, Turbo Jerko? Are you wanting to talk? Are you wanting to talk to me? The Jackson Hinkle server? No way, dude. That's the next bit we're gonna do. We're gonna watch Jackson Hinkle. I have promised that I am going to let him explain to me what MAGA communism is, and I'm going to come into it with an open mind, open heart, open ears. And I'm going to try to let him convince me that I should join in with the MAGA communism movement. I even have a graphic he shared out from earlier, haven't looked at it, that has all the planks of the MAGA communism movement. So that's what we're doing next here on the show, so you came right in time. No, guys, don't be mean. If you haven't noticed, I've been doing a lot of clout chasing lately. And I would like to have a discussion with Jackson. I sent you a video that I did where I had a friendly discussion with a Jackson Hinkle fan. I think it went rather well. I think I bring something to the table, and it would be doing me a favor for Jackson to come on my show or to have me on his stream. But I think I bring something to the table. I think I'm entertaining. I think I'm going to put up a good fight, and I love a good debate. Well, fucking get in the Discord. Call in, man. Come on, chat with me. Yes, hey, this is a free speech zone. I don't police you guys. Twitch may be getting ready to hit you guys with commercials. I'm going to take a commercial break. Turbo Jerko, hop in the Discord or call in. We'll have a little chat. I'm going to hit the Twitch commercial break. You're calling in 5 minutes? Perfect. I'm going to hit the commercial break for 3 minutes, and then we're going to talk to Turbo Jerko. This is going to be awesome. Hi, I'm Justin FREAKIN. I'm a leftist broadcaster and comedian, not liberal, leftist. And despite what you may have heard from right-wing propaganda, George Soros isn't handing out Soros bucks and funding people like me. There are no Koch brothers, Mercers, or any number of right-wing think tanks funding content on the left side of the spectrum the way they fund people like Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, and Dennis Prager. And YouTube doesn't monetize videos that are controversial or deal with politics unless you're someone like Steven Crowder. So this is an ultimatum. Become a patron. Support my Patreon, or I'm going to become a right-winger and get some of that easy money. You know for a fact that I could be bigger than Charlie Kirk or Jesse Lee Peterson.
Amazing!
All I have to do is talk about how I used to be an SJW snowflake, but the left went too far with their cultural Marxism, and Republicans are stupid enough to buy it, even though this video exists. And you know I'm right, so give me your money or I'm selling you out.
We live in turbulent times. The media is full of deception, conspiracy theories, and fake news. Now, more than ever, it is important to ensure you're getting information from a source that's freaking reliable.
I'm Justin Mullins, and this is the Freakin' News.
Get a breaking or interesting story with a humorous twist in about a minute weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, and more.
Yeah, I tried to, somebody hit Bang Discord for him. I think it's Bang Discord. I tried to keep up with the breaks and always play them at one point in time so nobody misses out on the rest of the show. and then I'll play my break. So if you're a subscriber, you just get like my commercial breaks. It's like advertising the freaking news and my t-shirt store and shit. Get everything out of the way. I don't want you guys to miss any of the actual content. Call me a fascist. I'm like the closest thing to a police and prison abolitionist that you can get. And dude calls me a fascist. Weird. Fascist must not mean what I thought it meant. Hold on, let me look this up. A lot of people always get this wrong. Fascism is a far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, a belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interest, or for the perceived good of the nation and race. Yeah, that don't sound anything like my fucking political beliefs. But I mean, what do I know? I only went to school for fucking philosophy. I don't know anything about this shit. I only took a bunch of 4,000 level government classes. I don't know anything about this shit. I don't see anybody in the Discord yet. Turbo, if you want to hop in the debate freaking Discord, I guess. We've added to the list. Because apparently, like, this is like the mini boss that I got to get to before I actually get to engage with Jackson Hinkle. Maybe, or maybe he's just trolling me. But then again, how did he know about me being banned from Jackson Hinkle's server if he's not actually a mod for Jackson Hinkle's server? You know, it's kind of... Unless it's Media Winch. Media Winch knew about it because I sent Media Winch into the Discord to try to get me on. Because if anybody can talk people into unbanning Justin, it's Media Winch. Not seeing Turbo just yet. We'll give him some time though. We're just chilling. We're just chilling here. I really would like to set up a time to talk with Jackson Hinkle. What do you mean you kicked me off first? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean kicked me off? Brother, can you get in the Discord and talk to me? Makes things a lot easier. I might be a deep state Fauci agent. Socks. Buddy. Ew. Socks is upset that the door is closed. Not that he doesn't want to be in here. It's not that he wants to be out there particularly. He's just upset that the door is closed. Cat for you. Buddy. I have no clue what any of them wants. Maynard was outside the door. cult of tradition, the rejection of modernism, the cult of action for action's sake. Disagreement is treason, fear is difference, appeal to social frustration, the obsession with a plot. The enemy is both strong and weak. My God! Pacifism is trafficking with the enemy. Contempt for the weak. Everybody is educated to become a hero. Machismo and weaponry. Elective populism. Fascism. Speaks news speak. The use of elementary syntax in order to limit the instruments for complex and critical reasoning. That's the attack on higher education. That list describes the modern GOP 100%. Where you at, Turbo? Yes, thank you, Cicero. Always on point. I think I got the best chat. You guys are the best chat. Highly intelligent. Always adding to the conversation. Exactly. But I mean, they've convinced a whole bunch of people that schools are just indoctrinating them to be woke, leftist, moralist, whatever the fuck Jordan Peterson says. What is it?
Oh, yeah. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Halls 5X. Thank you for being a freaking follower. I'm a woke leftist cook. I do cook. I love to cook. I want to know first of all, what does woke mean? Can 4-year-olds transition? What do you mean by transition? What are you talking about? Exactly. Mate, what? First of all, are you trying to say kook? Or are you trying to say kook?
As a conservative, it's getting harder and harder to not look like a kook.
Kook. Because you said cook. And you said it twice. And I do indeed cook. I love to cook. I thought somebody was going to call or Discord in. I thought I was going to get actual people to talk to. Not just griefers in the chat. Halls 5X, which is like, I assume it's like, 5 times strength of the Halls. Fucking, like, throat lozenge things. Where the name comes from. Halls 5X thinks they will inherit the earth. Sure, pal, sure. Do we need to pull up the what makes somebody a fascist again? Mater. Always coming in hot. I love it. Is that Mayo Rerect? Or is that Mayor Erect? Mayo Rerect. I like Mayo Rerect. I don't know what death threats you're talking about, Halls. Well, you could come in here, you can call me a woke moralist and shit, then accuse people of doing death threats. What? Did you just say like I should ban one of my mods? Mayor Erect.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Looks like there's some new people in here tonight, so I always like to summarize my political beliefs when new people come in here. I would give anything I own to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. Give me that eye pussy, sir. That is my personal political philosophy. Who you prosecuting? Mandy, good evening. I love your face. Nah, nobody's getting banned. I hope you had a fantastic birthday yesterday, and I hope you have plenty of cake left over. I love Mater, always precise with language, and that is one of the things that I love about Mater. Somebody ban Halls. Coming in here, telling me that like I gotta ban somebody. I haven't had brownies in such a long. I burnt myself out on brownies. Oh my god. So he's going to report my channel. If I do go off Twitch, that's fine. I'll be back on. It's just a temporary inconvenience that these little bitches come in here and like to do. Because they'll accuse us of wanting to cancel them, but then they'll do shit like that. But nothing's going to happen to my channel. Like, even if it does go down for today, it'll be back tomorrow. And Twitch will understand what you did. You stupid fuck. What happened to Turbo? I thought that I got to debate Jackson Hinkle's mod, and then that would get me a debate with the Hinkster himself. Because I've been aiming for it. Like I want Jackson Hinkle. I ain't scared. I am prepared for anything that comes my way. They will not chill my speech. I want to know where Turbo is, though. And it can be on Hinkle's stream. It can be on my stream. I don't care. Either way, we could dual stream it. And I make that offer to anybody that wants to come at me. However you want me to come on your stream, I'll do it. And man, I prefer to go on right-wingers streams. I want to talk specifically to their audience. Having them on my stream is just, it's just fun. Come at me, bro. My positions are that I would give anything in the world to piss in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. I'm running on a platform of pro pissing in eye pussy. That's my position. And I'm not high enough for this shit. I've had people offer to come in and pretend to be right wingers and shit. Like, I don't like that. I want it to be authentic. I want a real dumb fuck to come at me. I want a Turbo to come at me. Do you really, Mayor Erect? Are you really going to talk to me about being shallow? And then again, I guess you're not shallow at all. You've got some depth, don't you? Because you're erect. Trans rights are human rights. That's about the only thing you can say to complete that phrase. I'm in a weird position where, like, you know, I'm a small streamer, and most of the people that are just above me are clout chasing people bigger than them, so they don't want to platform me. Unfortunately. Mansoor, you are so kind. The MAGAs don't show up every night, unfortunately. I wish they did. But tonight we're talking about supposedly people who are further left than me. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you know, I'm kind of doubting what they believe they are left on. But it looks like they ran, so unfortunately we don't get to talk to them. If I have a cat in here, I certainly do. You get a Smokey. Say hi, Smokey. He talks so much, but never. I can never get him to say anything into the microphone. Can you debate the cat? I can't get him to talk when he's like camera shy or something. Smoking around cats is cruel. I mean, I'm smoking pot. I'm not smoking cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. Oh my God, Mater's got to hang up on caller redeem. I'm glad I did that so you guys can pull that when I need to do that. Because I'll let things go on way too long. Keep me in check. I was really hoping we were going to get a call or a Discord. I'm sad now. I can't make it 1 point because I wanted to be people that, you know, are here usually have the power. I want it to be low enough to where it's reachable, but, you know. Oh, Mater, you can't do that. I'm clout chasing with Hinkle. When I'm debating people bigger than me, you can't do it. Well, I mean, like, Hovind Hutzker Pulitzer was bigger than me, but, like, you guys totally were in your rights to do that an hour into it. Catnip is an entry drug to banana pills. Oh, I would ignore you, Mater. I wouldn't let you redeem it. Now, if we're 2 hours into a Jackson Hinkle debate and we're just going around in circles, then yeah. I have a feeling like it's not gonna, like, it's going to devolve. It's going to devolve. We're not going to stay friendly. I just know it. So it's going to be how many, you know, good one-liners I can get in there. I gotta be on top of my game. But hey, maybe I won't want to debate Jackson Hinkle after we watch this. I promised I would approach it with open mind, open heart, open ears. MAGA communism. MAGA communism is what Jackson Hinkle is proposing. I thought it was like 6 minutes. It's a little 2-minute piece. He's going to tell us what MAGA communism is in 2 minutes. So buckle up, buckaroos.
You know, I came across you most recently with the trending hashtag MAGA communism. Now, a lot of people are going to hear that hashtag MAGA communism and be a little bit confused. So I'm going to let you explain what that means, because I don't think you're a communist, Jackson.
Well, I actually am a communist, but at the end of the day, communists have
dirty
a lot
commie
of the same goals as working class Americans made up in the MAGA movement. We want more prosperity for average Americans. We want to end big tech. We want to end big agriculture, big pharma. We want to stop the monopolies and the subsidization of monopolies all across America. And we want to reinstill patriotic education in this country. We don't want open borders. We don't want, a green fascist push amongst our people. These aren't things that we support because we are average Americans as well. And the synthetic leftists today, the Democratic Party and the so-called progressives, they're far closer, though they might call themselves socialists, they're far closer aligned with, the quote-unquote national socialists in Nazi Germany than any sort of, socialism that we see unfolding of true industrialization in, say, China today or the Soviet Union. And though, average Americans can have many disputes and concerns over the Soviet Union or China today, we have to recognize that these are two countries that chose.
The Soviet Union is not a country and doesn't exist today. He didn't make any points. Razzie baby, welcome.
Industrialization over the World Economic Forum path today that's pushing depopulation and degrowth. So we as communists want to unite with MAGA voters and finish the job of Donald Trump, which is, uprooting liberalism from America and getting the globalists out of the MAGA movement, because there's so many globalists that are trying to co-opt the MAGA movement and bring about neoconservatism in the MAGA movement. We need to do away with that. We need to do away with people like John Bolton and Mike Pompeo and make sure that this is truly a working class.
Mike Pompeo was what? Secretary of Defense? Secretary of State? Under Trump? Appointed by Trump? John Bolton was National Security Advisor? Under Trump? But you need to remove them from the MAGA movement. Is Trump not a globalist? Didn't Jared Kushner do a $2 billion deal with the Saudis? I have to listen to this. Was like, this was a lot to take in.
I came across you most recently with the trending hashtag MAGA Communism. Now, a lot of people are going to hear that hashtag MAGA Communism and be a little bit.
Remember, communism is like state ownership of the means of production.
Confused, so I'm going to let you explain what that means, because I don't think you're a communist, Jackson.
Well, I actually am a communist, but at the end of the day, communists have a lot of the same goals as working class Americans made up in the MAGA movement. We want more.
That statement could be true. Per se, I am from a coal mining family. We are the rednecks. Where that term comes from is because they wore red bandanas around their necks. The working class movement to signify the communists in the coal mines.
Prosperity for average Americans. We want to end big tech. We want to end big agriculture, big pharma. We want to stop the monopolies and the subsidization of monopolies.
Okay, first of all, communism wouldn't be, I guess it would stop corporate monopolies, but it would be a government monopoly on an industry.
Monopolies all across America. And we want to reinstill patriotic education in this country. We don't.
patriotic education, like the bullshit like Bill Maher was talking about, like we don't want to call Columbus a genociding murderer, even though he was a genocidal murderer.
Don't want to open
and that's truth. To Bill Maher, like to say that Christopher Columbus was a genocidal murderer, even though it's true, is to not tell the truth, because he would rather believe that Christopher Columbus, discovered America, which he did. Like none of this is making sense to me. I'm breaking my brain here, guys. I'm breaking my brain here.
Borders. We don't want, a green fascist push amongst our people. These aren't things.
So I don't give a shit about borders, right? Like I don't think there should be borders, because like I don't think any government can limit a people's free movement.
That we support because we are average Americans as well. And the synthetic leftists today, the Democratic Party and the so-called progressives, they're far closer, though they might call themselves socialists, they're far closer aligned with, the quote-unquote national socialists in Nazi Germany than any sort of, socialism that we see unfolding of true industrialization in, say, China today or the Soviet Union. And though,
I can't even try. I've got a rundown of the platform. My God. MAGA communism is for reindustrialization of America. I mean, I guess in theory I agree with that. Dismantle big tech. I would rather just highly regulate, or possibly, I think highly regulate. Their passion is graphic design. End foreign intervention, I'm cool with that. End globalist imperialism. If those words mean what I think they mean, I'm down with that. Abolishing the CIA, FBI, and NSA, pretty much I'm down with that. Drain DOJ swamp. I don't know what that means. Pardon 1/6 protesters. I'm totally not down with that. Pardon Assange Snowden. I'm pretty much down with that. The thing about Julian Assange, they have more of a platform than the Forward Party, yes. That is correct. The thing about Julian Assange is I don't like that, people act like Assange was the hero, but like, Chelsea Manning was the hero. I'd rather talk more about how much love I have for Chelsea Manning, as opposed to sucking Assange's dick. But Snowden's cool in my book. Extend free speech to social media. I don't think he knows what free speech means. Land reform, dismantle big agriculture. Okay. Oh, she does? I didn't know she streams on Twitch. I'm gonna have to go follow her. Do you have a link to her channel? Ban Antifa street terrorism. Expand stable, high-yielding energy, oil, nuclear. Awesome. Thank you, Merkin. Fucking A. Maybe she straightens Grimes out and then we get some good music. I'm a big Grimes fan. And Grimes just hasn't been the same since, the whole Elon fiasco. Boom. Fucking A, I'm gonna drop in on her stream. On in 2 days. I can't. Did you set up the vote? No one ever votes except Warlord. He usually tilts the vote. I don't see a vote. You should have those tools in mod view. Fucking A, pick Mater's hashish. Oh, that would explain it. Deport the bushes. Is that on here? I'm actually down with that. Wait, arrest George Soros, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Fauci, and all Epstein associates criminal. That's a lot to take in. That whole statement there is a lot. Destroy Open Society Foundation, WEF, the IMF, the World Bank, the Gates, Ford, Clinton foundations. It says deport Bush family, Clinton family, Obama, Pompeo, and Bolton. Can we add the Trump family? I mean, what? I love this one. Remove red tape. What does that even mean? Wait. Okay, over here is dismantle big tech. Here is nationalize big tech. Promote made in America products. Literacy movement. Like this was written by somebody who's barely literate, and they want to say literacy movement. End debt slavery. Protect minors from sexualization.
You live in sexual anarchy?
In the EPA, that's exactly what it means. Protect Second Amendment. Cut military budget. See, I'm all for cutting the military budget. Banking in hands of people? I don't know what that means. That is the MAGA communist movement. The representative of which was here in my chat just, 30 minutes ago? Saying that they were going to talk to me on Discord and then never came back. I had one of Jackson Hinkle's mods in here and they just ran away. I wanted to talk about MAGA communism. Maybe you could have won me over to the movement, but I have a lot of questions. Random hero, what is going on, my friend? A lot of questions. I don't want to end the show. I want to see if I can get Turbo back. Random hero, we've read this whole thing. We listened to the Jackson Hinkle interview on OAN. A grift. It's basically just MAGA, yeah. Trying to interject some things that leftists might consider on their side, like insubsidization of monopolies. Subsidized gyms? Why? Deport the Bush family. Deport the Clinton family, the Obamas, the Pompeos, the Boltons. All right, we're gonna do nonsense. I'm going to see what I can pull from my list of stories here. We're going to dip into the well. I'm going to do some stories. We'll stick around like another half hour or something because I wanted to debate. That's what I really wanted to do tonight. I thought I was gonna get some chuds in here. This isn't fun. Let's see if we've got Josh Hawley bitching about TikTok. This should be fun. Senator Josh Hawley apparently has problems with TikTok.
Well, here's the point. I know there are other senators who want to ask questions. I think we're going to have a second round. What the truth appears to be, besides the fact that we can't get a straight answer on any of these questions, is that you have hundreds of employees with, it appears, access to U.S. user data that may very well be members of the Chinese Communist Party. You have no way to assure me that they don't have access to our citizens' data. And you won't answer my question in a straightforward way about whether a CCP member has ever gained access or not. I think, from my own point of view, that's a huge security problem.
Senator, if I may, we are one of the most highly scrutinized platforms. There have been many cybersecurity experts who have researched our platforms, including Citizen Lab, which is a leading academic research unit based in the University of Toronto, who have said, and I am happy to submit this for the record for the committee, that our research shows that there is no overt data transmission to the Chinese government by TikTok. TikTok's program features and codes do not pose a threat to national security.
Wait a minute. Overt data transmission? Ms. Pappas, this isn't a hearing for you to testify at will. You're here to answer questions.
I'm providing you with information.
No, you're not. You're talking over me, and you're submitting the information from.
And you're being a condescending little prick.
Who knows who's behind it? Who knows what it contains? I don't know. What I do know is you won't give me straight answers to my questions, and the reason I think is pretty clear, because your company has a lot to hide. You're a walking security nightmare, and for every American who uses this app, I'm concerned.
Exactly, Dustin. Not overt, as in once you post something online, anybody can read it. Let's see, we've got Joe Rogan stunned by Great Reset video. That's the reason why they want to imprison Klaus Schwab. He's the head of the World Economic Forum, and this whole Great Reset was like, about like, if you've watched the documentary about the Fourth Industrial Revolution or whatever the fuck it's called that Vice did a few years ago, it's just about like providing better infrastructure to developing nations and shit. That's what the Great Reset is about. But it plays right into these Nazi conspiracies that have been going on all along.
Our teams are now embedded in governments around the world. That's actually what they wrote. The video is 2 minutes. I didn't play all of it. It's what he says.
But what he's saying there sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Figuring out on strategic ways to end the lockdown easily.
No,
that makes sense.
Not the end of lockdown. No.
Well, didn't he say that?
Yeah. Keep in mind, Tony Blair is the one who's been advocating for vaccine passports, digital identification through COVID, and all of these measures.
But didn't they say that about ending the lockdowns and keeping businesses?
Once those measures are in place. Right, so he's...
the whole bug thing is weird because a lot of cultures do eat bugs, and like they are high in protein. And like fucking like... I love shrimp, and people are like, those are bugs of the sea. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, aren't you like misquoting like Bill Gates or some shit? Echoplex deals with that kind of nut jobbery.
In the UK, his stance has been, yeah, we're going to get out of all it, but you have to have digital ID and you have to have...
So
during the war,
this is going to introduce the social credit score system.
Right, so all of that came from your question, which is, regardless of intention, how...
Man, all these fucks are so upset about the social credit score system. Can we just get rid of the credit score system? Like, it's only existed since like 1989, motherfuckers. You think a social credit system is bad? Like, fucking, can we get rid of a fucking actual credit score? It's bullshit.
How do people do that infiltration from within? It's not just Twitter. So back to the psychological operations. It's also embedding people in government who are subscribed to this agenda. Yeah? And the agenda of Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum is the same as the agenda of Tony Blair in this regard. They call it, on their own website, they call it the Great Reset. That's what they say themselves.
Yeah, that's a bizarre thing to do, openly. Why do you think they openly discuss it that way? And openly, because the Great Reset has always been this gigantic conspiracy theory among the online folks. Like, this is all part of the Great Reset. Well, when he wrote a fucking book called...
They don't fucking know? They didn't fucking know? Or maybe they tried to reclaim it? I don't know what their reasoning was.
We're going to basically... all of these world leaders will penetrate their cabinets with our young global leaders. He's open about this. He's open. Blair's open. During the Iraq War, Blair tried to bring in ID cards in Britain. He failed. Now he's back, and he's trying to bring in digital ID during COVID, right? So they're open about it.
So this is going to be this never-ending process to slowly move the goalposts.
Towards more and more authoritarianism. Checkpoints.
What?
It's all there. They told us this.
This is not a moving the goalpost fallacy. This is a slippery slope fallacy. Textbook slippery slope fallacy. You've blown Joe Rogan's mind.
People have to realize this, right? This is important.
Yeah.
People have to realize this. Yes, I realize what a slippery slope fallacy is, and I realize why it's so effective on stupid people. But now here's something cool. The U.S. is one step closer to letting Americans file their taxes online for free directly to the IRS, cutting out private companies like TurboTax and H&R Block. The goalposts are sliding down the slippery slope. The U.S. is inching closer to modernizing how Americans file their taxes and breaking the grip that private tax prep companies like TurboTax and H&R Block have over the process. In the future, tax filing may require only a few clicks or even simply replying to a text message, as is done in some European countries like Estonia. Within the Inflation Reduction Act, which passed with only Democratic votes last month, $15 million was set aside for the Treasury Department to study a free federal tax filing website. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Thursday expressed support for simplifying the process. I dropped my lighter. I'm all about simplifying the process. Let me check some Twitter here. Let me see what I got on Twitter. Do we have the audio from Howard Stern? Yeah, let's hear what Howard Stern had to say to his audience about voting in morons like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So on today's episode of the Howard Stern Show. Oh, this is National Voter Registration Day. I did not know that, and shit, that's on me, I guess. If you're not registered to vote, do that. No, we got the Mediaite again. It's probably going to have an ad.
When you have
Cops are going to start ODing on Plan B. Oh my God. Oh, I have a fentanyl story. Somebody was spreading some bullshit about fentanyl. That pisses me off so bad.
Intelligence on the Revolutionary War. They wanted to, most of the morons in this country, again, we have a lot of morons. They went and fought with England, and then what did they do? Right after the big war where so many people lost their lives against England, they said, well, let's make George Washington king. And he said, you shitheads, you stupid morons. We're going to have democracy. You're going to be the king and queen if you want to be. We're going to give you the votes. There should never be. That's what we just fought about, you dummies. And this is what
that's not historically accurate at all. 100% false.
The problem is, as much as I love America, we gotta allow the dummies their vote. You
Those
just gotta
dummies had other dummies. That's what happened. They kept having dummies.
So
literally, the founders made the argument that only rich white men that own property should be allowed to vote because they didn't want the dummies to vote.
for those of you who have some semblance of intelligence, I'm going to remind you, register to vote. When people say to me, well, what can we do? I can't do anything. I'm going to say it. Vote. Today is National Voter Registration Day. Take 30 seconds.
And I'm going to say don't not vote. However, voting alone ain't going to fucking save your ass. So always see how you can help out in your community. Get involved in community action programs, in mutual aid programs. Fucking, that's how you do it. And then take over, and like, voting in national elections it should be your least of your concerns. Vote in your local elections. Know who your council members are. Know who runs your county government. That matters way, way more.
30 seconds. You can get it done. Register to vote. Check your registration status. Or find a registration event near you. Visit nationalvoterregistrationday.org. Nationalvoterregistrationday.org.
I do that too.
Like that Marjorie Taylor Greene. She called the Gestapo Gazpacho.
Get rid of morons.
It's like having an imbecile represent people. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And if you're an imbecile, and you know I've spelled
crack somebody up
in today's world, do not register to vote. Only
keep saying there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. There's two things you could do: either register to vote or not register to vote. But look.
Oh yeah. The Gazpacho police, and then I made her say goulash. The Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. Hold on. And the DC goulash. She didn't say goulash. I just made her say goulash because I thought it was funny.
Not only do we have the DC jail, which is the DC goulash, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's Gazpacho police spying on members of Congress. Not only do we have the DC jail, which is the DC goulash, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's Gazpacho police spying on members of Congress. Not only do we have the DC jail, which is the DC goulash, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's Gazpacho police spying on members of Congress.
Goulash goes with the Gazpacho. I think that's good goulash. Good goulash.
The same dummies who wanted George Washington to be
the GOP potluck is going to be
40% of the country who want they want Vladimir Putin. They want Nazism. They want Vladimir Putin. They want
Nazism is different than fucking Putin.
Democracy.
Like, stop conflating things. Can we stop conflating
when
things?
you have these woke revolutions.
Howard Stern nominally, like, I agree with what he's saying, but like he was so fucking wrong. He was so fucking wrong about so much there. That's annoying. Oh, the wontons. The wonton thing was hilarious. Wonton killing. I got that handy too. Got wonton killing. Oh, it really seems like she has come across this term for the first time ever in her life, which is weird if she's like actually preaching a sermon that you would have think that she had read before.
And then all hell broke loose. Rampant, evil, grabbing and grasping, vicious backstabbing. They made life hell on earth with their envy, wonton killing. I don't know what a wonton killing is. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Did she have a response on that? Did she like go on a talk show? And find out what wanton killing means? I'm going to Twitch or Twitter to find out. I want to know. I'm going to type in wonton. No, I've seen that clip. I want to know. I want to know if she followed up. If she found out what wanton killing is. You gotta love that some Asian girl tweeted out like members of BTS and said my wonton. That's great. That's great. I'm not seeing if Bobert found out about wonton killing. Those are some good looking wontons. Damn. I think I got some stew in there. Oh, shit, that was loud. Sorry. I don't even know what we're watching now.
I'm definitely gonna go home and try to make some now.
He gonna come back for those wontons though.
Definitely deep fried ones.
You don't care for wontons? Oh shit, I like some wontons. I'm just fucking around now. It's not even a fucking around stream. Chess grandmaster accused of using sex toy to cheat to win against world's top player. Rumors are circulating that a 19-year-old chess grandmaster used vibrating anal beads and artificial intelligence to defeat the world's current top chess player, Magnus Carlsen. Chess prodigy Hans Niemann fiercely rejects the accusation that he cheated in his win over Carlsen on September 4th at a tournament at the St. Louis Chess Club. Before his loss to Niemann, Carlsen at 31 boasted an impressive 53-game winning streak. Carlsen's loss reportedly occurred during the Swinkfield Cup, the final leg of America's longest-running chess tournament that features a $350,000 total prize pool. Carlsen is a 5-time chess grand champion and was made famous for being a chess phenom since the age of 13. Niemann was accused of cheating almost immediately after his win. Detractors believe that an accomplice was using artificial intelligence to determine what moves Niemann should make, and then sending signals to a vibrating set of anal beads, which Niemann is accused of having inside of him, to communicate those perfect moves. It's such a peculiar, if not bizarrely vulgar accusation that has escaped the usual chess enthusiast circles to become a widespread internet rumor and meme. Currently obsessed with the notion that Hans Niemann has been cheating at the Swinkfield Cup chess tournament. Do we get to see video of it?
That's probably a good one, right? An anal bead probably would beat the thing. I'm serious. The engine, it would probably. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, think about it. I don't know.
I'm assuming they're doing some kind of Morse code kind of deal, right? Spooky. Hell yeah. Love your name. Love your face. Thank you for being a freaking follower. Am I in the UK? No, but my head mod is. My head mod is in the UK. I do US electoral politics. But right now we're doing a story about a chess master who apparently cheated using anal beads. So these are timed, right? RB, are you here? I feel like you would know more about this. Why would you know about chess? I don't know if you watch fucking chess. Are these competitions timed? How would they be able to run artificial intelligence fast enough and then have time to vibrate up his ass and pull it? Like, look, how long do you have to make a move in chess? I would assume like 2 minutes. Or is it one of those things where you have a clock and you both got to hit the clock thing as you're going? I have a lot of questions. Can I see video of this happening? AI chess is fast these days. Fair enough. I want to know if I can see video where Hans Niemann is supposedly got anal beads up his ass. Do they do this online? Is this it?
Hans Niemann is super determined. D4 played. D4 on the board. Magnus goes knight f.
See, that all I can find is people. Do I like Russia? Looks like a lovely country.
While the world's richest man, Elon Musk, supported the
I don't give a shit about Elon Musk. Okay, is this it? God damn it, I fell for it. I just want to see the video where the dude supposedly has anal beads up his ass. I want to know. Apparently he trash talks.
Chess.com has suddenly decided to hop on Magnus's. I think like you guys are just terrible for chess. Like, I think that, you know.
Should we be beheaded or just?
No. You guys should be. Check this. Well, first of all, you know, people are absolute idiots because the explanation I'm going to give is going to make you all the top GMs look like total idiots. Disgrace in the chess community. You should be banned. You should never be allowed to even go to a chess tournament. He's just so demoralized because he's losing to such an idiot like me. You know, it's just it must be embarrassing for the world champion to lose to me.
How am I this good at this game? How am I this fucking good?
Apparently you got anal beads up your ass and somebody's.
Get fucking down and bow down!
Describe it. Well, it's completely fucking ridiculous that the laptop is just running out of power, and because the laptop runs out of power, of course he has all the time to think in the world to find all the best moves. I guess what you said was just so disgraceful.
True. So my opponent blundered a piece on move 10. For not resigning, his punishment was that I had to promote to 3 knights, and I gave him a nightmare.
I don't know if I like this guy or not.
But it's nothing so out of this world that a 2700 talented kid in the Rise couldn't produce. He got a good position against Magnus. It was a very, very good game. It was probably an inspired game, you could call it. But is it an obvious proof of cheating? Definitely not. I don't think he cheated in the Singfield Cup, but everything else is still
sorry,
up in the
Alejandro.
air.
Sorry, Alejandro. I just have to interrupt you.
Is that the video right there? Like, also confusing to me.
Hans, it's the end of your first super tournament. What did you think of your play?
In the game or overall?
Overall.
Well, I think I have mixed feelings about my play, obviously, because the beginning was starting. I think my first 4 games I was so happy with, and I think in the first 4 games I could even scored 4 to 4 based on the chances, and I was winning in every single one of those games. And then after that, I just the pressure of playing my first super tournament combined with everything, it was.
I'm just saying, I have watched enough videos of people with vibrators in them going out in public and shit that I think I could detect if he had some anal beads or not. Tones, welcome. You've come.
You live in sexual anarchy.
So he is accused of cheating in chess using anal beads that were vibrating. Chess grandmaster accused of using sex toy to cheat. So what I believe happened was that they were using like the vibration to send like a Morse code signal, like a ... kind of deal. Because apparently he had the beads up his ass. And the dude was in the crowd running AI. It's totally sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy.
I don't think it's the sex story per se that makes it cheating. It's the Morse code and the running the AI and shit. Well, like I assume it's like 4 or 5 anal beads is what they go up there or whatever, and then like I don't know, like I'm sure they're little ones. Totally smoke weed and fart while you wait. That is exactly what you should do. And I would not begrudge a person for smoking weed and farting while they waited on Vladimir Putin to give a speech. Putin while waiting on Putin. Sounds like a fantastic way to spend an evening. If I have time and I remember, I might watch Quantum Leap. Might come on and play video games. Who knows? I'm probably gonna say goodbye and go have some stew right now, because there's like a stew waiting for me in there. It was not ready before I came on tonight, so I'm gonna go have a bowl. I'm gonna send you guys over to probably Echoplex. I assume they're on right now. Some of you might be getting ads and not even know. Not even know what I'm saying to you. Or maybe Dave is not on. Maybe it is not a down ballot kind of night. Is it not a local love down ballot kind of night? Or is it still too early? Am I fucked up? Am I wrong on time here? Ooh, let's go hang out with Igloo. I'm going to be on a panel with Igloo, actually. Oh, hold on. Halls 5X messaged me and said I made my choice. And I laughed at them. Oh, I'm unable to whisper to this user because apparently they've blocked me. Because of course they did. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to head over to Igloo. I'm going to be on a panel with Igloo on Tuesday. Very much looking forward to that. Not a debate panel. It's going to be a chill smoke panel, so don't worry or be disappointed, depending on which side of that spectrum you fall on. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I am Justin Freakin. We will see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol Live.